Shalom, this is Yehudit from Sfat. I'm going to share with you my new series, 40 Days of Teshuvah, Forgiveness and Compassion, that go now from Rosh Chodesh Elul, the 30th of Av, in fact, first day of Rosh Chodesh Elul, up through Yom Kippur. And what I do for these 40 days in the counting is I take the Yud K Vav K, going up from the world of Asiyah up to the world of Asilut, similar to what I did for the days of challenge and centering, except here I have each letter, I go up, I ascend the tree of life. So starting with the final Hey, I go from Malkhut to Keter. Then in the world of Yetzirah, I take the Vav and go from Malkhut to Keter. And then the upper Hey of the world of Bria, I do from Malkhut to Keter. And finally, in the 10 days of Teshuvah, within from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur, I go up the ladder from Malkhut, from the kingdom, from the kingship of Rosh Hashanah up to the in the world of Asilut, up to Keter with the Yud. So that's the plan for the next 40 days. And I'm going to do a similar practice that we did last time. I'll show you the letter of the final Hey. I'm going to distinguish this time, this year, my final Hey from my upper Hey. The Hey of manifestation, the world of action in Asiyah, and the Hey of Bria, of the mental, conceptual level. So, starting with my feet together, knees slightly bent, hanging from a string, I'm going to step back with my left foot and turn my palms forward. And in this case, for the final Hey, I'm going to bring my hands together in front of me, point my fingers to myself, begin to rock back, open like an offering, and then as I turn my hands over and bend my head between them, I'm going to lift my knee as high as I can out from myself and point my toe under that. That's the Yud at the bottom of the Hey. And that's the Hey. And then I'm going to put my heel where my toe was and rock forward. In this case, right into my plant here. So coming back. That's the simple Hey. But here I'm going to focus on the final Hey, which is back to back, up, offering, and then turning it over, manifesting everything I've received. So it has in it that sense of the Hey of Asiyah is receiving from everything above the Malkhut and then being able to act. Just as we receive our breath, and that helps us, enables us to act. So this is the Hey on this side. And I tend to, in my own practice, I do Hey on one side, then close, and then practice on the other side. You put your right foot back. It's like offering out, and then as you turn over, being able to manifest. And stepping right up to the future. So there's a stepping up at the end of the Hey that I think of Hey is a pictogram in some ways of a window. And so I like to think of that as stepping up to the window of the future. It's my own mind. And then the nikudah, there is no nikudah for Malkhut. It's just standing, feet shoulder width apart, grounded, knees slightly bent, feet parallel, and letting yourself be breathed. Hashem breathes me. You might check yourself if you're balanced, centered, grounded, being present with Hashem's breath. Hashem breathes us up, makes us alive at every moment. And within that can be a sense of gratitude and awareness of Hashem always with us, literally inspiring us. Okay, so I combine the two, like I did with the other practices for these 3 sets of 40 days. Here I'm going to do the final Hey. I'm going to start with my left foot back. And this is going to be going up the ladder from Malkhut to Keter, pointing the toe, coming forward and closing. And because Malkhut is a crossover, so I'm going to start actually at Malkhut, not Keter. Malkhut is a crossover, so I'm going to then go to my right to do receiving the breath, being breathed by Hashem. And Yesod is also a crossover. I'm going to start Yesod, stepping back right, the final Hey, stepping forward, closing, and going to the left to be breathed. And closing. And I'm going to go to the left again for hold as we're going up the ladder. So stepping back left. And stepping to the left side. For Netzach, right leg, hip. Step back, right. Hands, it doesn't come forward like this. It just goes from facing back to hands back to back, in, offering out in front, and then turning the hands over. And stepping forward. And staying on the right. And closing. And Tiferet, I have a choice. This time I'm going to go to the left. It's a crossover. So I'll step back left. Forward and go to the right for the breath. And then back for Gevura to the left. Stepping back left again. And left for the breath. To the right, back on the right for Hesed, openness, loving kindness, abundance, giving, step to the side. Then Bina, moving up to understanding, to the world of the mental concepts, and without emotional attachment, stepping left. Awareness. And to the left. Chokmah to the right. Sense of the underlying oneness of all reality, wisdom. With the final Hey. And to the right for the breath. Being breathed by Hashem. Now Keter, stepping back left. And it's crossover, so I'm going to step to the right for being breathed. This is now the first day of the 40 days of Teshuvah, the first day of Rosh Chodesh Elul. And my color system today is based on, again, on the somewhat the rainbow system and also other sources, because the rainbow system I have and use is just for Hesed down, so I'd use brown for the Malkhut that we're dealing with today, and the blue and white, what's in my tickle and in my blouse, have to do with blue as Chokmah, because the Hey is the pathway between Chokmah and Keter. And Keter is kind of the blinding light, but it could be white, so I have a white, extra white piece in my scarf and white here. So blue and white is what I'm playing with right now as representing that pathway of the Hey. And the focus today for me has still to do with just a lot of grounding energy in Malkhut and being able to align my action with the wisdom that I learn from just being receptive to the moment, moment by moment. There's a lot of Malkhut has to do with being present and feeling Hashem's presence as we are breathed, and recognizing what is it that's happening, where am I, who am I, what am I being asked to do at this moment. Very focused consciousness, and the beginning of the whole Teshuvah process starts with this place of the Hey, the final Hey, and Malkhut. So it's like a double energy of Malkhut and the Hey of receiving in order to give. That's our goal, being like Hashem, receiving from Hashem our breath, and giving back to Hashem our actions. That's what I'm thinking about today. At least welcome to the first of 40 days of Teshuvah, and the patterns we'll do up through Yom Kippur. So all my blessings to you on this day. Hodesh Tov.